the ability, and um, I don't want to. I wouldn't want to word it in such a way that it sounded negative, but it feels like it'll be a positive result, and you have what you've got coming. It's a good thing. So to be sure, this seems like something that is going to be rewarding or um, long, long coming. It definitely is something that you'll want to know or want to hear or want to be aware of. So just know that it's coming at you. You don't have to find it, seek it, or search it out. It'll come at you like a two by four kind of. So just know that it'll be there for you. Don't shrug it off either. She gives me the impression that you, you may, if someone just were to step up and offer you help or offer you accolade, you'd kind of play it down. And she's like, don't do that. Don't do that. Step up and claim where you belong. Um, and just know that, people do care. It just, they're not within the reach and right in your face, few and far between kind of thing.
Yeah.
Ernie, you got anything to shed on that?
Well, oh, and I thank you too. And and I needed to hear that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, all right, great. So, Nancy, I just for everybody who's listening, I finally got the live stream up for our show, so you can see the astrology on the screen and follow along as we're talking to everybody. You can check that out. It's in the link, or if you go to eastrologer.tv, there's also a link to my YouTube page or channel, and then you can just click on the live link, and you can see everything that's on my desktop as we're talking. So, I just wanted to ask you, Nancy, is there somebody right now who is sick or like on the verge of, for the lack of a better term, dying, checking out?
Yes, my son-in-law's father.
Okay, are you close to this person?
I'm close through family, but not, I don't really know him. But,
Because
I hear about him all the time.
I get the sense that you're going to be saying goodbye to some people here pretty soon, and that there's going to just be like for the lack of a better term, an ending of a connection, and that's going to be hitting you like relatively soon. This is imminent, so I think that is going to bring some changes with you, but it's also going to bring a lot of you know, it's going to solidify a lot of in your life what's going on, and is what you think is unclear or maybe you're not sure about, that you're going to start to see your life in a way that's a lot more stable. It'll create a foundation for you that you weren't expecting. And I think it's also going to bring you some responsibilities. You're probably going to feel like excruciatingly stone cold sober, for the lack of a better term. But that's just going to be sort of what's going on with you. And, I think it would personally be wise, if we want to talk about like spirit and all of that kind of stuff, get yourself into some mediumship, like learn how to talk to spirit and, and other
She
souls
knows.
that have already crossed on.
She knows.
Okay. Yeah. So I see this as being, leveling up that skill set as something that, is going to help to bring you through a lot of the, I
Hmm.
guess, the disappointment that you may feel, or the problems that it may bring. I think emotionally, it's gonna change you in a pretty profound way. You're gonna have some nice things that are gonna happen to you emotionally. But that's to say that those changes weren't expected. Like, you never saw them coming. You just realized, oh, so these people are out of my life. So I've eradicated this particular problem, and I didn't even know that was a problem to begin with. And then you start to think to yourself, oh, but wait, I used to spend all of my time doing this. Do I really need, like, how am I going to fill that void? So I think that your spirit communication, that's going to be your friend in this whole process. Um, I don't, like another thing that I think is kind of, um, you're also gonna be making some new connections. Are you working right now?
No, I'm retired and pretty stagnant. I really would like to meet some new people.
Yeah, and I see that this is also a very strong time for you to get out there and to meet some new people. Like, and it's going to create some big changes. Like your social networks will change. It'll take a total 180 into a direction that you didn't see coming. Like I said, I think that there's a lot of pleasantness here through the bitterness, but I think you're going to get through it. You just have to remember that stay sober, for the lack of a better term. I know we don't have to really have conversations about addiction here, but as somebody who does struggle with a lot of dopamine, cravings, like I always have to get that fix. You're the type of person, like just being still and quiet, reading a book, doing some crochet or needlework or whatever that kind of thing is. You just being still is going to be where you're going to find your peace. And meditation, all of that spirit communication stuff, I see you doing really strong with that also. But I do, like go out there to meetup.com. It's an amazing website if you've never looked at it. Type in whatever it is that you're looking for.
Oh, I have.
HR appropriate, of course. They don't have swingers meetings, believe me, I checked. So I would just go out there and, get into like some new yoga or, games even, like just to be around people. I think you're going to find that once you're around people, then, you're not going to feel it as distressing because you know that you're not alone or as alone as what you think you are.
Just to let you know, okay, well, 2 years ago, my husband died, and, my whole life changed. I moved, everything changed totally. But when you talk about mediumship or visitations, I did have visitations from him. I had visitations from my dog. Yeah. I've had visitations from relatives. I've had, the close thing, and I had a lot of connections with spirit, and so I do understand that part. But I also know my daughter, she lives pretty close to me now, but they're thinking of moving to Oklahoma, and I was wondering, then I'll be totally alone, knowing nobody, and I was wondering if that's like a death too.
Yeah, I think that, it could just be that, your family's going to go away, and that's just going to create some crushing pain, for the lack of a better term. That you don't have, that you're missing out on your network. I'd have to, it requires some more analysis on my part, but, Veretta, what do you feel about moving and then your future?
Yes, and moving probably won't come up for quite a little bit on her part, but visiting where her daughter goes will. And so that probably will prompt it. And yes, so people moving out of your life would equate death in that you're going to lose contact or the closeness you had at one point.
Okay.
But get out there and take advantage of what comes at you. It will come at you, and enjoy it. Don't say no. Get out there and enjoy it.
Yeah, don't be so hard on yourself. Don't weigh yourself down. You're okay. It's going to be fine.
Okay. Well, thank you. I appreciate you.
You are an absurdly strong person. You will get through whatever challenges life may throw at you.
Yeah, I have to prove it to myself sometimes, but usually I do.
Well, it was great to have you on
the
show.
God bless.
Let us know how it turns out. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share. Until next time.
I will. Thank you so much, both
Take
of you.
Care and good night.
Thank you. Welcome.
Yeah, good night.
Okay, so Veretta, see, now you know why I say good night, because we're always an evening show. Okay, so we're going to get off to our next caller here. This is going to be from area code 631. Here we are. You're live on the Uranus Happen Show. May I have your name and date of birth?
Suzanne, 10560.
10560. All right, at what time?
7:25 a.m.
At 7:25. All right. And where were you born?
Huntington.
And which state?
New York.
New York, Huntington. Okay. All right. And do you have a specific question, or do you just want a general reading?
Well, sort of general, but love life and work.
Okay. All right. So, got it. Perfect. All right.
Okay, Suzanne. Work is. What do I want to say? Work is what you'll make of it. It's status quo, but it's not to some degree really what you would want. So
do you see anything changing in September or sooner than that?
It will happen. Yeah, most definitely. You're going to have that change. You're going to have, and it will greet you I don't know, I want to say it'll catch you off guard. So it may not be announced ahead of time, or you may not be aware of that time frame when it will happen. And then it's there, boom. It won't be negative in the sense that you would think, you are not going to get what you want, but it will be a little bit of, I don't want to say a challenge, I want to say a compromise. So once that compromise is at hand and you know what your choices are, or what you'll have to choose between or on, just making the decision and moving on will be the best bet for you, and acting on it quickly. Don't drag your feet.
You know when that will be?
See, it's going to happen. There are gray areas, and Ernie may be able to pinpoint better on a time frame, but there are gray areas that suggest to me decisions have to be made first before, or on a time frame before it will actually happen. So no, I can't tell you when that will be, but I can tell you that it most likely is before September.
Okay.
Or October. And love life, let's just say the work part is probably going to be a better answer than the love life.
I'm dating somebody. He seems nice.
Okay, I don't see that changing any. But okay. By that I mean I don't see it getting any different than it is now either. When you see somebody after a length of time, you would think that you're more secure and in a real good relationship.
We've only gone on like 4 dates.
Okay. Well, so what I'm going to tell you is what you see right now is what it will be. However it's acting, or it's affecting you, or it's not going to change. So if it's all great, roses and everything's hunky-dory, there you go. But if you're already starting to see things that you're maybe not thinking you like, there you go.
Well, I really haven't seen anything. It's only 4 dates. We just take walks, go to dinner.
Okay. Well, taking walks and go to dinner sounds good. And if it never gets any better than that, then I guess that'll be the way it'll be.
Okay.
It's not bad. I mean, taking walks and having dinner. But what I'm saying is you would expect to see a relationship progress after a certain amount of time. You're not going to see that.
Well, then I hope I meet somebody that it does, because I'm looking for that.
There you go. That's what I'm telling you. The work thing sounded better than what this was going to be.
Well, I have a feeling the universe will send me someone.
Oh, absolutely. Don't even doubt that. That someone's out there for you, no doubt. Most definitely. But I wouldn't cut the sky off either, because walks and dinner aren't bad.
Yeah.
Right? Especially, if the alternative is no walks and no dinner. So.
That's true.
Right? Ernie, do you have anything for her?
Yes, I was really focusing on the job question to see when that would particularly change for you. And so what I'm seeing here, and it takes more confirmation, but just what I can tell off the top, like the job that you're really looking for, that's not going to be coming until about like mid-January. So, you still got some time with that particular issue for that to resolve itself. But mid-January, then you're going to notice that that's when it's going to kind of take off and do its thing. Now, as far as the relationship is concerned, let me see here. Now you're just sort of wondering, like, am I going to meet somebody better? Is that the question?
I don't know. I mean, he's a nice person.
Okay. All right. So, as far as the relationship goes, let's see where this is. So that would be. Okay, there. I don't think this is going to go the way that you want it to. Sorry, let me rephrase this. I mean, like, let me rephrase this. This is not a marriage partner, but this is somebody that, like,
I agree.
But this is somebody that you're going to at least be able to spend some time with. And, like, help to get yourself ready for whoever that marriage partner may be down the line. So this is kind of like, for the lack of a better term, a practice relationship, if that makes sense. Like this is sort of like you can get all of the kinks and the bugs out. So when you do meet the right person, then everything fits the way that it's supposed to. That's kind of where.
Well, I hope it's soon.
Well, that's a separate question aside from what we're doing here today. That's a different analysis entirely.
Yeah.
But like as far as this particular relationship goes, yeah, you're just gonna be having some fun with this guy. Just learn. It's just casual. Nothing big is gonna come of it. I don't think that like there's gonna be any serious or major upsets. Like sort of like this person is screwing around and looking at other people, and I don't know if we're serious anymore. It's like, why is he ignoring my calls, kind of stuff. I think it's just sort of like you just kind of come to the conclusion. I sort of think we're better off as friends, and I really like having you in my life as an activity partner. But as far as like the big Hollywood romance type stuff, I don't necessarily see that happening. And I think you'll just kind of come to that conclusion organically. But what you do have, you do appreciate, because it's a definite distraction from what's going on in regular life.
Yeah, and like I applied for a bus company. Do you see them calling me soon?
Well, a job change I don't see happening until about January. You can try to get your.
Yeah, I need to make more money. I can't wait till January.
Right. So, I mean, that's going to be the big job change. I mean, if we're just talking about like, do you just want to figure out how can I make more money to, enjoy life, to do other things? Or do you actually
pay bills.
Does your current occupation cause a struggle for you for things like rent, utilities, and food?
Yeah.
It does? Okay, all right. So, I mean, here's a quick pro tip. I mean, at least in Arizona, you can make about $500 a month doing the whole plasma thing. If you want to go through all of that, rigmarole, by all means, that's always a way to make some extra money. There's all kinds of stuff out there.
500?
Yeah. It's actually not bad. It's just
I'll go sign up.
I know. I was kind of thinking the same thing, but then I thought, but what would I do with an extra $500 a month? I'd probably put it on a casino.
Oh my,
table,
yeah,
to be
that's
honest,
tough,
and
right?
That's not a great idea for me.
You've got a little change coming. Your job situation may not improve, but the money aspect will. So you're going to get some kind of something coming in.
What do you mean, another job or?
I think, either it may be a job or it may be like a part-time thing where you do just a gig and it brings you a chunk of money that you'll be able to actually exist on. That's not it. That's not going to be without your input or effort on it. It's not going to drop in your lap. But the change that will come for you by September will shift that. I don't know if it's going to shift you monetarily or shift your direction into maybe getting something else or where you're going.
Okay.
Yeah, now, Suzanne, I just want to ask you, that job about the bus company, was that a job that has to do with telecommunications at all?
No, not at all. It's a bus monitor, being on a bus with kids.
Okay, all right. So it's just like something small then.
It's working. Yeah, I work in the morning. Yeah, it's being on a bus with kids. That have to be watched.
Okay. All right, that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. I'm just telling you.
Okay.
Yeah, for you, Suzanne, I would see more like, maybe looking into like an AA position, like something that caliber of work just doesn't suit your chart. I couldn't see you doing well with that. Like you would be the type of person that would end up developing some type of substance abuse problem because you're just like, I can't cope with this BS. It's too much for me. And say, and then you start to wonder, is it really worth it?
Well, I gotta go because this is all getting negative. I won't get a job. I don't get a boyfriend. Oh my God, I got enough stress. I gotta hear some good. Bye bye.
All right, so let's get to our next caller. Then we have here from area code 860. Hi, you're on the Uranus Happen Show. May I have your name and date of birth?
Hi, this is Amala, and my date of birth is 12/16/73.
12/16/73. All right, and at what time?
At 9:44 a.m. and it's New Britain, Connecticut, NEW. Britain, New Britain, Connecticut.
New Britain. All right. Got it. And I've read you before, like a long time ago, right?
Yeah, it's been a while. How are
I
you?
I am doing great. I'm still here, obviously, and so are you too. So congratulations to us for meeting.
Yes, I'm really excited. Like, I really believe in all these eclipses. I shouldn't say I believe. It's really spot on with me with these eclipses and the nodes and all this other business. And the last 6 months, it was just definitely a lot of scorpionic, just death in the sense of just getting rid of junk and gunk. And it was a long haul, but I understand now through universe provides of why I needed to go through what I needed to go through. So I feel like I'm on the verge of something brand spanking new, and because of that, and so I'm actually going on an astrology retreat in a couple of weeks, and it took me 2 seconds to figure out that I wanted to go. And I'm a planner. This is in Florida. I'm in Connecticut, and I was like, I gotta go, and I didn't even. I usually think about things anyway. It just shifted, and I just knew I needed to go. And my question is more or less, do you see me in a relationship? And I really feel like the person's there. But whatever you see is great. Whatever you got.
Okay, so
Okay, so your questions about meeting a relationship at the retreat then?
Yeah. Or if it's not there, when somebody else might be coming in.
Okay.
Yes.
So the relationship so first of all, the short answer is yes. You're going to meet somebody there. But the relationship may not be the way you would intend it to go, but it's going to kick you off. You're absolutely right about the starting something brand new. It's not just a relationship, however. It will be almost a way of life, a philosophy. You may even want to leave where you live right now. There's going to be a lot of opportunity to promote who you are, to promote what you believe. And by that, I mean this individual is going to like hold you on their lap or hold you by the hand and escort you to meet other people that will bring that opportunity about. So yeah, you're definitely going to meet a very imperative individual.
Okay.
It may or may not include intimacy, but it's a very valuable individual that's coming into your life.
Okay.
And that's why you didn't even hesitate when you saw you needed to, snap that up. And the other thing that I also want you to understand and it's not knocking astrology, you're very intuitive. And that intuition is what guides you. You don't need the stars to line up right. You feel what you feel. You know what you know.
Yes.
And like we were saying earlier, I don't know if you caught the very beginning, astrology is a blueprint to help you understand what's going on when it happens. It's not to prevent you to go or hinder you in any manner.
Right.
So you have a lot coming up the latter half of this year that's going to bring an absolute new perspective and opportunity on life for you.
I've been wanting this for so long.
Yeah, and so it may be a little bit of a challenge because it is so brand new, but you're efficient. You can do it. You can hang in there and make happen whatever's supposed to happen or that you've been, kind of waiting for, whatever that niche is that you were hoping to create. This individual is going to fine tune that and help you understand where to go and how to get it and, be more involved with you and helping you work through those kinks that you're not quite sure or aware of yet.
Yeah.
So it looks like you get to go on and it's going to be intense. I mean, this is going to be an intense thing for you.
The retreat is intense.
Yeah.
Oh.
The retreat is going to be intense. It may have to do with a lot of the energies that are present. There may be things that you don't want to know or people you don't want to deal with or see, but just hang in there with that and remember that what you're there for will present itself.
I wanted to share this really quickly. This is interesting that you said that because um, it was 50 people. She said it was supposed to be small, and I found this out later. Like I said, I snatched a spot in 2 seconds, basically, in air quotes, and I got in for the in person. And then in the video, she's very efficient. She said, "Well, this is what to look out for," and basically, what to expect, all these things, and it was good. Like I felt good about that, and that she even shared that even before we even got there. But she said that there's 50 people, 50 people in the retreat, and I'm like, oh my God, that actually scared me. It scared me a lot.
And,
yeah, and also,
so
I've talked to Ernie before, but like I am also legally blind, so like you have to take a shuttle to get there from the hotel, and I'm just like, this is jam packed. It's from 9 to 5, and it's just like for 3 days, and I'm like, oh my God, this feels very stressful.
So I'm going to give you a little tip. Part of your intuitive ability is, as an empath, you feel people. All right. So you want to create a little bubble before your feet ever hit the convention floor or wherever you're going to go. You are going to bubble up. You're going to see yourself in an impenetrable bubble, pure white light bubble. And anytime that you're feeling like, maybe there's people staring at you or energy's being thrown your way, cross your arms just under your breasts at your solar plexus and just stand that way. And if you got somebody coming at you head on, like they're going to square off with you, turn to the side so they don't have access to your solar plexus. It will be a lot less offensive.
Yes, I actually do that. The thing is it's interesting because I don't see. So that's the weirdness about all of this, is because
that's why you're so in tune, hun.
Yeah. Yes,
you're
like, what?
Right.
What's happening? So bottom line, I'm just going to wrap it up, is that I actually talked to the facilitator. I said, look, this is not working for me. I can't do this in person. They don't even have a bathroom in the conference room. You have to go to another building. I'm like, can you imagine? I'm trying to be mobile, and then I have to leave to even use the bathroom in another building because they don't, whatever. It's fine. That's what they want. That's the way it is. It is. I respect that. But I said, okay, there's a Zoom option. So what I'm doing is that I thought about this. I'm like, I'm going to make a vacation. I'm staying at the hotel, Zooming the entire workshop, this whole retreat online. But the people who are at the hotel are participants in person. So that's how I felt like I could meet people, is that I'm away, I'm at distance. I'm not with the people live in person. I'm Zooming the whole day, but they'll be back at the hotel, whoever is coming from out of town. So that's how I'm doing it. And it felt right. It was intuitive. It was just more like, this feels much more relaxing, and I'll feel at ease just Zooming and being in the present moment. So,
okay. Ernie,
I just wanted
I want
to add a couple of things.
see. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, sure.
So I don't know if you can see my screen here from our YouTube show, but I have your chart up here in Uranian Astrology. It's a 90-degree dial. No houses, no signs. We don't do any of that. You started the call, with like what I would, because I write comedy, I'm just going to kind of poke fun at this. Like the whole woke mentality that people are hating on right now. When you got into, like the Scorpio energy and all this stuff. Well, we don't do that here on this side of the fence. So let me point out to you what we can find out about you very easily is you may not be able to make out a lot of this just because of, your sight issues. But what we have is, that black square I just put up. This is, like very, very powerful, far-reaching change. And this is affecting your meridian or your soul. So, I mean, like at a deep soul level, like you are going through massive, massive change. And this is something that we can tell. So that's the black square. If you look at the green line that I just put up, what we see then is that we have some other stuff that's happening. This is your node ascendant midpoint. We're looking at the midpoint of that and your natal and your directed charts. So that's where that green light is pointing to. In
Okay.
astrology, what that refers to is establishing connections, acquaintances are made, keeping in touch, contact with the immediate environment, limited contacts within the environment, the
Mhm.
mediator, broker, agent, boundaries set by the environment, and links to the surroundings. So, I mean, this is the node ascendant midpoint we use a lot when it comes to relationships. So, for example, node ascendant Mars is to initiate a relationship with a man. Node ascendant Saturn would be to initiate a relationship with somebody who's older because Saturn is old, right? And then you have, like node ascendant Zeus, which would also just be like to initiate, a creative or a prosperous relationship, but more in like a work sense, not so much in finances. So when we look at this midpoint here, what we see right away, we don't even have to turn the dial any further, is that watch these pink circles that I put up here. It'll show on your end in a few seconds. Um, it's going to show these pink circles, and these are going to be like, that's your sun moon and your sun moon. So this is, your relationships as a whole. All relationships, these are being activated, in a double pattern right here in relation to these arrows. So they are all opposite each other. Now, when the transiting sun, what's out in the sky, makes contact with one of these other arrows here, then you're going to have an activation that would be a triple pattern of node or sun equals node ascendant. So that would be to initiate a relationship. And that, remember, I don't, like Loretta was saying at the beginning of the call, don't read into that too much what relationship is really referring
Yes.
to.
Yes.
Because, like that can
Yes.
mean literally anything. That could mean like I meet my best friend, or, like I meet an astrologer who's very qualified. Like that can mean anything. So, and I do
Right.
think that you are going to come into contact, with somebody like if it would be egregious to say I don't believe in my product here, and this is science, what I do. So I mean, like scientifically, there is a reasonable expectation that you are going to be in a relationship or starting one with somebody pretty soon here from that conference.
Yeah.
Yay.
Well, yeah, that makes complete sense. It's also the Aquarius rising in me. I'm very evolved, and it's because it's not necessarily intellect. It's more like wisdom because I've fallen a zillion times, and I've grown from that. I've learned from that, and I'm willing. My soul is willing to do that. Go through resilience patterns. Nothing comes easy for me, but I know it. Like I was talking to Greta, like anything is possible, and it's because I believe that, like, and I work for it, and no day goes by where it's like I have a physical challenge, but there's no excuses either. I make my day what it is
Good for you.
because of my
Good for
attitude.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very exciting. It's really it's empowering is the word because it's like kind of like earning a degree. Like even there could be a fire and God, the universe takes it away, that piece of paper, but no one can take away the resilience, the heart, the drive that you each step of the way, and I really appreciate. That's why I appreciate so much. It's not because I'm losing my vision either. It's because I've done the work, and what a gift, to just appreciate every single step, every breath you take, and not for granted. And it's just, and I know I sound maybe like Pollyanna, but I really strongly believe in that because I've walked it. It's like the warrior woman in me. It's amazing.
Good for you. Good for you. Well, you enjoy your retreat and enjoy your new relationship, however that comes about. God bless.
I am excited to just keep you guys updated. That was fascinating, both of you. I loved what you said about the square. I mean, I can't see what you were talking about, Ernie, but like I could imagine it, what you were talking about, and you're really pinpoint with astrology as well. So thank you both so very much. I appreciate it.
Well,
Take good care.
I just want to add one last afterthought, that I wanted
Sure.
to bring up to you, about the trip. You want to do the Zoom experience, and I think that's great. But make set yourself in a public space, like in a coffee shop on some headphones, or, like in the hotel lobby or something like that. Because if similar-minded people attend this particular event, somebody is bound to tap you on the shoulder, and then you're going to start to strike up a conversation that way. Like it's like I always say, it's very difficult to meet the love of your life when all you do is sit on your ass at home on the computer. You know, like you have to
No,
be
no,
around
no, no.
people,
And
right?
yeah, I thank you for that. I'm making it a point to be out there in public, and my intuition will definitely guide me. I'm just gonna let
Mhm.
God, universe lead the way, and
There
I'm
you
just
go.
gonna do what. Yeah, absolutely.
Good for you. Be
Thank you
sure to keep
so
up to
much.
date with us, and we're going to be having our members lounge coming up next weekend. If you'd like to join us for that, and also leave us a review on the website to get yourself into the drawing.
Oh, excellent. I'm gonna actually look you up. This is great. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Learned so much from you.
Thanks for calling on the show. We'll
Can I
catch up
keep
with
Take
you
care.
listening? I'd love
What's
to
that?
listen to the show more.
soon.
Yes,
Yeah,
thank
it's
you.
for sure. Thanks for calling in. We'll catch up with you soon. Take care and good night.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So let me see here. Everything is on fire. We did that. Okay, great. Now the next question is we're going to take, I'm trying to figure out our order here and sort of what's going on. So we're going to do caller.
Oh.
Yeah, we just did that one. Here, let me just make myself. And now I kind of keep tabs on everything just to keep everything fair, and so everybody gets the time that they need to, and all of that stuff. So our next caller here is going to be from not that one. All right, we're gonna catch up with Kay here. It's been a while since she's been with us. Kay from area code 919. Are you on the line with me right now?
Hello. Thank you so much for taking the call.
It's great to have you back. May I have your name and date of birth, or I'm sorry, your date of birth again and your time?
Certainly. 12/29/66, 4:20 a.m.
Okay, all right. A very good time of the day always. And where were you born?
Mm-hmm. Goldsboro, North Carolina, and it's Goldsboro.
Okay, all right, great. And Kay, did you have a specific question, or did you just want to do like a check-in? Hello, how are you reading?
I do have a specific question. It's regarding career. I had applied for a job, got third round interview, but wasn't selected. But from that, when I updated my LinkedIn, I had a couple of recruiters reach out to me, and one particular one, she mentioned to me about a job that is phenomenal, and so she recommended, or she presented my information to the client. Well, the client is excited and wants to talk with me. But since then, there's another position that they're thinking of that is lower than the one that I saw originally, but still possibly very good opportunity. But I just got an email. She wanted to know my salary requirement. Well, the salary, what we discussed was the original one. So I'm just wondering, is it a good thing to consider this lower opportunity? I hate to say lower because it's not necessarily really lower, but it's a different one.
It's a downgrade in pay, so I mean that would be
It
considered
is.
lower.
Yeah.
So basically, though, what I'm also getting while you're talking is that this step is to the step up. So yes, consider the lower one, but go ahead and list your salary requirement right at what you had talked about.
Okay, that's perfect, because I typed that and I had not hit the send button because I wanted to speak with you. Yes. Okay. Great.
Yeah. Hit send. Now she may come back and say, no, that's too much for this position. Would you consider lower? And you can definitely stipulate that you would come in at a lower rate, with the exception that you would expect to have whatever bonus or review or the upgrade to the higher one within a certain amount of time. And the thing is once they see, here's the thing about that, okay? Once they see who you are and how you operate and well you work, they're not even a bat an eye about giving you an increase. So say yes. If she counters with the lower, say yes. And get in there, get your foot in the door, because it feels like this would be a great, what do I want to say? This will be a great opportunity to really express what you're made of and be appreciated
Yes.
for it at the same time, because you've been able to
Yes.
express who you are and not been appreciated. And this is going to be the opportunity that you're going to be able to climb or rise above where you've been suppressed before.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you. You actually answered my question, and while you were speaking, I hit the send button. And
Good
everything
girl.
else that you said is so in line. I thank you. Thank
You're
you. I don't
welcome.
even
Ernie,
go on
can
and
you
on
give
and
her
on,
some
but
more?
thank you.
Yeah, I just want to add a few more things here for you, Kay. If you
Okay.
can see on our YouTube stream, I have an orange circle around that Pluto in the third ring, and the orange circle just kind of refers to this more specifically, which is going to be the midpoint or the halfway point of these pink circles that I'm adding here from the first and second rings of information.
Okay.
So what that basically
Okay.
means, the orange circle refers to where you are out in the world right now, and Pluto is a planet of change. So, you're definitely dealing with some change right now. It's further supported by the fact that, you have these squares that I'm adding here. You have a second Pluto in the second ring and the Jupiter in the top. So this is, going to bring some changes to money. But do keep in mind that, you have like Node Hades down in your natal chart. So that's going to bring some energies. And this is just you in general. That, you either have a lot of well, not a lot, but you either have connections with unpleasant people or people that are mean to you. So you already know where I'm going with this.
I'm sorry. Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, like there's a
Yeah.
certain level of unpleasantness about your life actually. And no, you're not crazy.
Yeah.
This is just the way. This is what your soul decided to choose in the ethers. That I will learn from these lessons in this way because this is what I think is best for like my whole growth and development as a soul and in the universe and everything else. So, I think the money is going to definitely come your way, but you've got to just sift through some really serious anger issues. Like it's the first couple of weeks are probably really going to make you mad when you see like the way that they do things are just not what follows common sense, or perhaps it's not what you're used to or what you like. And just don't blow up at people. I do think that doing a counter offer, for stating more of what I am worth as an employee, like this is what I will do. I do think that is going to work out for you. But there's just some hesitation on your part, like I don't really know if they're going to say yes, but I do think that it'll be a positive for you. But the main thing for you right now, Kay, is like let me learn to not be angry about all of this BS that's happening around me, because I really have to work on that.
Yeah.
And I think that's the stepping stone that Veretta is referring to. That once you get out of those issues, then you can move yourself into a position or an occupation that's unlike what you've done in the past and is more of what you actually feel like you are as a person.
I totally understand that. I'll just say this really quickly so I don't hold up the call. I have been struggling with this. I've been selected second so many times. Oh, I didn't get the job because of this, but I was the second. I was like the top candidate, and I have been fighting this thing now about why is it I'm always second best to things. So I understand. I totally understand what you mean. That's something I have to work on and learn how to reverse what I'm saying.
Yeah, and something else. Another one way that you can possibly vent that energy is, just like, find spiritual groups, because the dark side of Hades, does deal with like decay, death, and destruction, gloom and doom, all of that stuff. But on the positive side, we have things like medicine and God and spirit and astrology and things like that. So go out to my website eastrologer.net and create a free account. Hopefully, once we start to get the show going here, that those forums will really pick up for everybody, and then you guys can start, chatting with each other and having some nice conversations. I think that we'll have to have like a venting wall eventually, because a lot of people just have that general issue that there's too much that's happening in my life, and I need a channel to let this out. That's not a therapist, because I'm not going to pay for that crap.
Gotcha. Thank you so much.
Yeah, be sure to leave us a review on my website, eastrologer.tv, and it'll get you into the drawing for a free pass to our members lounge next week.
Wonderful. I will do that. Thank you. Thank you
No,
so much.
thanks for
Take
coming.
care and
Blessings
good
to
luck.
you both.
Yep, take care and good night.
Night. Night.
Okay, so we are going to get off to our next caller here. And this is going to be from, let's see, area code 929. Here we are. Hi, you're on the Uranus Happen Show. May I have your name and date of birth?
Hello?
Hello, hi. May I have your name and date of birth?
Oh, hi. It's Stacy. Date of birth is 8/12/80.
8/12/80.
Mm-hmm.
At what time?
2:30 a.m.
2:30. All right, very good. And where were you born?
Freeport, Long Island.
In New York?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Got it. Okay, perfect. All right. And do you have a specific question or do you just want a general reading?
I do have a question.
All right.
Thank you for
what's that?
taking my call. I'm looking to do a move this summer. I'm very empathic. Just wanted to pick up when would be a good time to start signing leases.
All right. Okay.
'Cause I'm
So
thinking-
summer's like next month. And so anytime between now and then, or even through the end of June, you're good. But I kind of think maybe you're going to be working on it by the end of May. The feeling is that you either will know or already know kind of where you want to be going, and an offer will come or an opportunity will come that will just, be exactly in a way what you want. So you could actually start making those arrangements without signing anything just yet.
Oh, okay.
And wait, if you can, wait until after the 1st of June. Actually, we'll ask only when Mercury goes out of retrograde. But the correspondence that you will get will give you the opportunity to choose or delay your choice what is coming, but it'll still be yours nonetheless.
All right, that
You have
sounds
a really good
because
hold on it already.
Oh, thank you so much. Oh, my gosh. Because I was going to sign the lease, but I was going to move in maybe about 2 months later. So, yes.
Don't sign it yet. Don't sign it yet.
Okay. All right. You said don't sign it yet?
Don't sign it yet. Not until after the 1st of
Okay.
June.
Okay. That sounds good.
Yeah, and if you're looking to want to do it in summer, don't do it until after June 21st, the first day of summer.
Okay, that would be even better. After the June 21st? Okay, that sounds better.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That sounds a whole lot better.
Ernie, can you give her some more better time frame?
About specifically signing a contract, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so looking at sort of what's happening right here, I'm looking. If you're watching our YouTube cast, I'm taking a look at the formula for signing a contract, which is defined as Mars, Jupiter, and Ascendant. So it's those three planets that we want to align in triplicity in a triple pattern, and then that's what we can tell. So if we look at there are multiple formulas for things like, well, that's consignment. This is others resign. Well, in this one we see right here that let me add this arrow. Okay. So here is that midpoint of Mars Jupiter, and so what we want to do is we want to line up this ascendant, which is going to be the third piece, and then that's gonna be what's going to tell us when specifically you're going to have that event happen for you, and so we have the ascendant and those pink squares that I just added. Now the third one out here in the transits in the sky, this moves really fast, so we can't really tell this information as well unless if we're using other confirming formulas, and that's definitely something I can get into in our members lounge event when we do that next weekend, to do all of that confirming work. But here in the live show, what I can tell you right now is that Yeah, that time is coming for you pretty soon. You know that you're going to be, signing some paperwork and making this all happen. Now, Veretta, what was the time frame that you had?
June 21st.
June 21st.
Okay.
So the beginning of summer.
That, All right, that sounds right around the time that I'm looking to sign. Sounds
Perfect.
Good. Okay, yeah. Let me just run this one more time. And we'll take a look here. So around June 21st.
Or after. Anytime
Okay, yeah.
after.
Yeah, it'll definitely be after that. But I think that
that sounds good.
Are you going to be having a roommate in this situation?
I probably will.
Yeah, I think that
I probably will.
Around the 21st, like you're going to make some connections when it comes to a roommate, and I don't think it's necessarily going to be like one of those cruddy scenarios that you hear about on Judge Judy, that you met somebody off of Craigslist and you got ripped off, and then they brought a knife and a gun every other day of the week. It's none of that, nonsense. I think it's going to be somebody you actually know, and you have a good relationship with, so it's not going to be awkward going into this. But you got to resolve a roommate situation first, and then you're going to be ready to sign that paperwork, because I think if you have a roommate, obviously there's more capital involved, and then you can get into better places, into nicer areas, and you just don't have the information that you need yet as of today to make those choices. But like Veretta said, that this is where you can do a lot of that pre-move work, which is to do the research. So start to get some feelers out there. Who's ready to get see some new four walls in their place, or who's ready to get out of their lease, or just get that information going for you, so then you can start to map out, okay, so these are the places that we can afford based on this information. And then after that summer solstice on the 21st, that's when you're going to do the signing, and that's a specific question I can answer in more detail later, or in our members lounge. But it's going to be after the start of summer.
Perfect. Okay, that sounds excellent. I love it.
Well, it was great to have you on our show, Stacy. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share on our YouTube channel here on BTR, and also leave us a review on eastrologer.tv to get yourself into that raffle.
All right, thank you so much. I will call you back to let you guys know the outcome this summer. Thank you.
Great.
Have a great night. Take care.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Okay, so we are going to get off to our next caller here from, let's see, this is going to be from area code 760. Here we are. You're live on the Uranus Happy Show. May I have your name and date of birth?
Hi, it's GC.
GC, all right. And what is your date of birth?
It is 7/17/1958.
Okay.
And the time is 11:43 a.m.
11:43, okay. And where were you born?
New York, New York.
Okay, all right, got it. All right, and do you have a specific question, or do you just want to, get a general read?
Let me just give you a little bit of information, because
Wait, no. Wait,
No?
GC. No information, please.
That spoils the whole
Okay.
reading. Just
Just give me a bullet. Just give me a bullet of what you think you'd like.
Yeah. Well, it's really about career, and it is also about living situations. So I'm at a crossroads at the moment.
perfect. That's all.
Okay, good enough. Let me take it from there. All right, so change may be slow to come. However, the living situation is getting kind of severe, and I kind of want to say that would be a necessity to work on first. Your career, however, is going to change, and it's going to change for the better. It's going to change with help or support from afar or a distance, and it'll take off. It'll be, even though you may think, well, this isn't going to work, or this is too slow, or this, I don't know. It's going to take off. It's just a matter of getting it started, like jumping into the pool and feeling the water and realizing you can touch the bottom, you're okay, and you're all wet, but the wet is, worth it. And then you'll learn to dive and swim, and you'll be off and running. But the reality of it is you need to work on your living situation first, even though you think, well, I can't until I change my career. I get that, but that's not the order in which it needs to happen. Start working on the living situation. And I feel like there are people associated to this situation, so it's not just about you, and you're going to need to work on that first, even if you have to hear yourself say, I don't know what you're going to do. I'm not sure about how that's going to happen for you. I just need to work on me. I have to fix me. I have to work on how I am going to be well. And cut loose, not let go or ignore or deny, but cut loose the responsibility of feeling like if you don't do it, it won't work for them, or it won't happen for them, or it can't be good for them. Well, the reality of it is you kind of need to stay focused on self. Your little Cancerian self needs to create a happy home. You need to be able to dwell in a place that's safe. And so right now, you got to carve out a little niche that you can call your own and push out whomever it is that's making life miserable for you. And I don't mean kick out.
Yeah, I'm a roommate in a situation. I'm not in a relationship, so it's not about that. But I am also unemployed. I was actually laid off. There was harassment at work, and now I'm unemployed. So my first order of business is to get another income.
I hear you say that, and I know that's where your focus is. But the reality of it is pay attention to what's going on at home first. Job's going to come. Job's going to happen. And I don't like I said, it's not about trying to move. It's trying to create a safe place for you to be at home. And so basically you're going to have to create different rules, different ground rules, different boundaries for yourself, and demand respect. You can't tell someone to treat you nice, but you can tell them they can't treat you anything other.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's okay. That I really don't feel that that's what's going on. It's more about it's very I can't work. I like to work remote, and I can't work in this particular environment because there's no air whatsoever, and it gets very hot in the summer. Even before I was here, I knew that. And I thought that I'd have the wherewithal, the income to be able to make my next move before the summer.
Yeah.
It's turning out that may not be the case. And I don't know how soon you see that new career coming in. Maybe that will make the difference.
So are you used to doing telecommunication? I hear you say remote, but is that strictly working on the phone, like a call center kind of thing?
Or Zoom. I was doing sales calls using Zoom.
Okay. Well, that's what I see you getting back into. And that's where it's going to really take off. But that's not coming anytime soon. It's going to be a little bit before that happens. And to improve the situation at home is about managing what goes on in your space. So, keep your eyes open for what's going to come. Let's see. So, I'm not hearing until the end of June, unfortunately.
When you
maybe
say what's
even
going
closer to your birthday, your job situation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But don't let that dissuade you from looking, because you need to keep your eyes open. If you hear of something, grab it.
Yeah, I just applied to something that I'm pretty excited about. It seems aligned with my experience. So I'm hoping,
and the background check or whatever else that they put you through may take a little bit of time. So just be sure to, keep enough energy to weather through it.
Sure. Well, Mercury is retrograde, so I expect.
Right. Right. So there's that. And you're so sensitive. Um, you're so sensitive in wanting to make things right and knowing that it could be better that it makes it a little more difficult for you. So kind of overcome that challenge if you can and just plow through it. Regardless of what other people think you should do, you've got to make it right for you. Ernie, can you give her some more support on that?
Yes. All right. So, GC, the first thing that I see, sort of as we were starting the call out with that, like you really want to focus hard on the job and then your living situation. And I agree with Veretta that you need to resolve the living situation now. Like, this is imminent that housing could become a very serious problem and concern for you in a bad way. So, like that's something that needs to be fixed. I mean, if we're going to be really honest, I know you just put in for a job. Put in for, like, those BS help wanted signs that nobody wants, because, like you're going to have to get to a point where, to be able to afford something, because living expenses are insane and inflation is not going down anytime soon. So, you're at a point in life where, you have to kind of take these crappy odd jobs that nobody really wants just because, this is if this is what it's going to take so I have a roof over my head, then this is what I need to do. Otherwise, I need to accept the alternative of, like maybe there's not a roof over my head, or maybe I'm living out of my car. Like this could really not end well. So I think that, that the first scenario is going to be to fix the housing situation, and then once you do that, then you'll have better opportunities for job. As far as like an occupation or a career, something more salaried that's respectable and is going to give you more of what you're looking for. I do agree with Veretta that that's coming further down the turnpike. But right now the biggest concern is going to be with housing, and that needs to get taken care of. And also I think that when it comes to the job, like I don't really know how to describe this except to say that women are bitches, and that's where a lot you have a lot of problems when it comes to that. So like and that's something that you kind of got to be careful of. Especially when it comes to things like hiring managers. Like if you have a female hiring manager, you're probably something like 15 to 20% less likely to get that job than if it was a guy. Like it's just your matrix, your DNA as a person. And there's nothing bad, right, good, or wrong about that. It's just the way it is. So my biggest advice to UGC was get yourself into some work. And it may not be the type of work that you enjoy, but like you got to do something to get by, or find some side hustle. Even like we were talking, donate plasma, $500 a month, or at least in Arizona. You're gonna have to do those uncomfortable conversations you've been avoiding, or else this could get very real in a way that you don't care for.
Well, I don't understand what's happening in the home situation. I don't feel, it's crumbling or falling apart or anything like that. It's just something I would prefer to move out of, because I want to have air conditioning when it's sweltering hot.
It'll be unexpected.
Well,
you're going to get like
it may not be something you see, right?
Say that again. I'm sorry, I couldn't hear.
It's going to be something unpleasant and unexpected. Like you get a notice in the mail that says something from your landlord, like we're raising your rent to some ungodly amount that I just can't take care of right now.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't think it's something you're aware of yet. I think it's up and coming. That's why the focus on your career will have to be kind of on the backside, because you'll have to be tap dancing a little bit to figure out what you're going to do there. And it may be a list of things that you've not been told that, there are discrepancy or grievance of on their end, your roommate end, and they finally get to the place to where they blow, and it's just not reasonable. It's just unrealistic for them to expect what they expect. So it just may be something that will hit you, like Ernie said, out of the blue, but it'll be there.
When is this coming?
It would take me some time to break that down, but specifically, but in general, I want to say like by the middle of summer, like you're going to have the information that you need to know that's going to send you to where you're supposed to be going. It all comes down to the fact that I do not have the information to be able to possibly comprehend what's going to come down the turnpike. It's like, if there was suddenly a meteor strike on China and like Beijing was just wiped
Well,
off
I
the
understand.
map.
Yeah.
Like it's one of those kinds of things. But I would say.
Yeah, no, I was just looking for a sense of timing. Yeah.
Loretta, do you agree that it'll be by the middle of summer that that becomes more clear?
Yeah. Yeah, most definitely. Middle of summer. Yeah, I would say end of June, around your birthday. More around your birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending upon the end result. So happy birthday to you.
Save like a crazy person. You're really going to need it.
Save. Yeah.
She says, save, I don't even have a job. What do I save? Right. Hang in
I
there.
could just
It'll
barely pay the rest of my bills this month. That's it.
You'll have enough to get you through about the middle of June with whatever is to come. So, you're going to have some kind of more to do to make some money, to make ends meet.
Oh, and something I just learned was that Lyft has a program that if you're unemployed and you need a ride to like a job interview, that they will give you a ride to the interview and they'll pay for it, and then 3 weeks of rides after that to and from work, and then they'll just deduct it out of your first paycheck. That's something I just learned about today. That like that was for a lot of people, that's a barrier. Like, how am I going to get a job when I don't even have transportation? Well, Lyft has it covered.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, JC, I do wish you the very best of luck, and be sure to go out to eastrologer.tv to leave a review on our website to get you into that drawing for the members lunch next weekend.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Talk to you soon. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share. Until next time, good night. Okay, so we are going to take our next caller here. Rosemaria, it's been a while. Hey, are you on the line with us?
Oh, hello?
Rosemaria, hi, how are you?
Fine, how are you?
I'm doing great. May I have your birth date? I don't have that here.
12/31/74.
12/31/74, all right. At what time?
7:30 in the morning.
And where were you born?
Camden, New Jersey.
Okay, New Jersey, got it. All right, and do you have a specific question, or do you just want a general reading?
Either that or what's coming up in a relationship. I had a dream about it, so I'm not sure if that's coming in or if that's going to work.
Got it. Greta, what do you think? Where are you?
Okay. I'm here. Rosemary, are you aware that your dreams will give you a phenomenal amount of information if you know how to interpret them correctly? You're pretty sensitive, so I think you're aware there's information in that dream. You're just not sure how to interpret it. Is that correct?
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
So tell us the nature of the dream.
Basically, what I'm gonna. Yeah.
I was in a different. That wasn't in the U.S. It was in Italy. So I was in a car with him. He's driving. He usually drives me around if I need to or whatever. We were communicating, but I couldn't hear the words or anything like that. If that makes sense.
Okay, so is that the gist of the entire dream?
Right.
Okay. So short answer is words are falling on deaf ears, and there may be an amount of information this individual is trying or wanting you to know, and either you're not listening or you're not accepting what he's saying, this individual's saying enough that he's getting through to you. So there are you can't beg somebody to tell you something that they don't want to say out loud, even though they want you to know. There are plenty of indicators that would suggest this is not an isolated incident, or this isn't the first time that this individual's wanted you to know something that they can't get across. You might try to open a door and ask if there's anything they'd like to say, but you have to be able to hear it realistically without blowing a gasket. And that may be why they're resistant to say anything. You can get very emotional when it comes to hearing things that may be triggers for you. And I would say this time it's going to be one of those times where if you can't hear what someone's trying to say, they may end the relationship. That's the crux of what you're getting, is this is the precursor to what you need to know to keep this relationship strong or going. Now, there seems to be a time frame already set for this event in a way. So you either have a trip scheduled or you know that you're going at some point in the future. So you want to preempt this time frame by bringing whatever out in the air that needs to be disclosed to you so you can work on it or address it and address it properly when it happens. If you've already got an inkling of what this person is going to say, then head them off at the pass and start the conversation with, I'm kind of getting the impression that maybe this is da-da-da-da-da, and or this is happening, or this is something that needs to be aired out, and I want you to know I'm willing to listen. Does this sound any kind of familiar?
I tried it, and it's not working. He's not communicating, he's not answering me, he's not returning the call, and...
Uh-huh. Okay, so...
He knows I'm not coming home until he straightens out.
Well, there's a need to tell you something. There's a need for you to hear something. So you're going to have to be willing to listen and get it straight or work on it if that's what you want to do. Or don't. That's totally up to you. It's like this is your choice in knowing that there's something coming, and you can either head it off in the past or try to open up and give this individual an opportunity. And if they don't want to talk, they won't. They just won't. There's no amount of coaxing or coaching or beating them over the head to make it happen. But you've got to open the door so that they know that you're willing to listen. Ernie, can you give her some more on that?
Sure. So I'm taking a look at your chart to kind of see what's happening. And so I know you've been a subscriber of mine since the original days when I started with Caitlin way back when. Now, at any of that time, have you ever even so much as met like a new friend in this whole process?
A new friend?
Yes.
Not really.
Okay, so you haven't even done
I caught up with some. I caught up with somebody, and pretty much I told him to go F himself.
Okay.
He got rejected, so he felt bad.
Okay, so...
Because I ain't playing that game.
Did you ever get a different job?
I didn't get a different job. It's the same job I had before. They gave it back to me because he needed somebody there.
Okay, all right. So would you agree that you're just kind of stuck in a rut and you don't know what to do?
Yeah, no. I'm forced to go back to work, and I can't.
No, I just mean like in a general sense in life. That you feel stuck, like stalemate, defeated.
Somewhat.
Like you just want things to be exciting and fun again, and you don't know what happened to make everything so boring and crappy.
Right.
Yeah. So okay. So, do you have a therapist? I'm just curious.
Used to, but not anymore.
Okay, I feel like that counseling would be really great for you, or to have some type of sounding board, because this is really the key reason why you're having difficulties with attracting these partners is you're just one of those people that people are almost afraid to get in touch with because they just say, oh well, she's just going to complain and vent about everything in the world that's going on, and it's just, to some people that's a big turnoff, they just don't want to be brought down. So, I mean, I feel like that you having a sounding board for a lot of what's going on in your own issues, that's going to help to redirect or reshift the focus off of, these people who don't want to be with you because they think you're crazy. And then, like you say, oh, well, actually I'm taking dance lessons, and I'm, I go to bingo every Thursday night, or, whatever events it is that makes you seem fun and exciting, because you know that you have this other channel where, you can let out all of this other unwanted baggage that's really kind of weighing you down. I just feel like that, Rosemary, you're really stuck in life. And, you want the way it used to be when it was fun, but, like that's neither here nor there. That's still a ways away. And the biggest thing that we can do for you right now is to, get to focus on how do we get you out of this by through your own emotions. I feel like that emotionally you're just really stuck, and that's the biggest part of it.
No, I'm not negative. I don't share my issues or anything. I keep it to myself and work them out. He's a different story, that he has to fix what he has to fix, and he's not doing it, and I had to put a lawyer involved.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I get that. So, and they're out of the picture totally now, right?
He's not totally out of the picture now. He has to be involved because it's his and mine. That's how the mother set it up.
Okay. All right.
I'm not being negative or anything like that. He has to be told what he's doing wrong, if that makes sense.
Sure.
He's afraid of me. So if he's afraid of me, because I'm not going to take any BS. That's what people are kind of afraid. I'm straightforward. I don't take BS from anybody.
Okay, yeah. So, I mean, I really think that, would you say that you have people called you mean or nasty or difficult to work with in the past?
No.
Okay. So people find you to be generally pleasant, except for the fact when, like, you just won't put up with any BS.
Right.
All right, yeah. So, Retta, do you have anything else that you want to add here? I'm just kind of looking around to see what we can find in the chart, because there's 8,000 midpoints here.
Only that, with the understanding that he is trying to tell you something, whether it's because he won't open up or you're not ready or he just has to jump through hoops to get there, there is a manner of information that should be coming at you that you have to open up to receive. So whatever that is, however that happens, you're the one that's going to have to put the green light out, even if it's somebody that's coming at you with BS or things that you don't believe or things that they feel are their truth and you do not. It's something that you need to endure to hear. So it's not a matter of you being unruly or, unreasonable, but it is allowing someone else to say what they have to say, even if we don't think that's the case. It's something you need to hear. So whatever the dream represents to you, the fact is that with the talking that was happening in the dream that you could not hear or you could not understand or figure out, the fact is like I said, words are falling on deaf ears. And somehow that needs to be satisfied or solved. Yeah, there's a common between you that he has to be involved with you about, but take that commonality and put it to the side and look at what you can do, or look at what you both should do together to repair the situation for yourselves. Not to be together, not to be burdened with each other by each other's side, but to be able to get along accommodatingly enough to take care of the common thing you have together, because that will be affected if you're not working out things. That common thing will be affected eventually enough so that it will boomerang back on you. Sometimes we just got to compromise. Not settle, but compromise and know that, this is not my first choice. I don't like dealing with this. I don't want to have to put up with this. I don't want, this near, but I have to satisfy something else outside of me. And that's what you're working on at this point, is finding out a way to be copacetic even when you don't want to. And that's to hear what has to be said, even though those discrepancies have not been resolved yet. And mainly for the common thing that you have together.
And I just want to add this one last thought, and then we have to move on to our other callers here on the line. But Rosemary, I just want to leave you with this. I feel like that if you take responsibility for your, or if you take responsibility of your own personal communications, you're going to find that things really improve in a big way that you didn't expect. And I don't know what specifically that refers to, but, anything that's related to personal communication, that you want to fix those issues, and have that resonate at the highest vibration possible. We do have to get on because I know we have 4 other callers on the line and we're almost out of time here. But I do want to thank you for coming back to us. We'll catch up with you soon. Take care and good night. Okay, so we are going to get off to caller from area code 504 here. Hi, you're on the Uranus Happy Show. May I have your name and date of birth?
Hi, my name is Kelly. Date of birth is 10/22/1964.
Okay, at what time?
And the time is 3:38 a.m.
3:38. All right, and where were you born?
No, I'm sorry. No, 11:38. I don't know what my mind was doing. 11:38 a.m. It was right before lunch.
Okay,
and then the place was Winter Park, Florida.
Winter Park, Florida. Got it. Okay, and do you have a specific question, or you just want a general reading?
No, I want to ask specifically this weekend. I was going to go to a spiritual ceremony, and I want to find out if this is a good weekend for that or not, if it's something going to good or bad. I'm wanting a read for this weekend.
What city is the event in?
It's in I'm not sure the city, but it's in Mississippi.
Mississippi, okay. And you don't know the city?
No.
See, I can't evaluate something on, an event or a location without knowing the specific location.
Well, I mean, you can't give just a general how this weekend would go, or?
I mean, I can do that, but
I can.
Well, we're talking to the location.
I can.
Yeah.
Get that in here.
I don't want to divulge. First of all, I'm not really sure, honestly, the name of the city. It's in an area, and I really don't want to divulge where it is. But I'm just trying to get an idea generally how this weekend will go for me.
Sure. Let me go ahead and just put in a neutral location. Go ahead.
For your retreat setting or the spiritual event setting, don't be surprised if somebody pulls the plug. I don't know if that's you to go or them that it's happening, but it may not actually take place. You may find that there will be something that is more involved or whatever. And so if that's what you're looking at to decide if you're going to plan, plan, but just have a backup, because I think ultimately somebody or something is pulling the plug on this.
And I agree with that 100%.
That's interesting. I think you guys got it on the mark. I got that feeling too for some reason. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, and I can even show you in astrology if you're looking at our live stream. Take a look at these circles that I'm putting up on the screen. These symbols are the same.
I don't have that.
All right,
this
no
is
worries.
by radio. I don't have a screen.
No worries. So,
I don't know.
If you can actually see in astrology, if you go back and watch your YouTube cast, that you have all of this energy that's the same that's happening in a triple pattern right now. We're very close to. So, I agree that the event's gonna get canceled, and I want to say the reason why it's gonna get canceled is because somebody was irresponsible when it came to really, really basic stuff, whether if you want to call that COVID protocols, or perhaps the venue was double booked, some really silly oversight. But like somebody was irresponsible in this whole process, and so I think the cord is going to get plugged or going to get pulled. And I think that you still may interact with people, and have some nice conversations. But what you're expecting to happen, don't expect it in this big fantastic way that you have up in your mind. Like it's going to be about maybe 20% of that.
Wow, you guys are great. I got to tell you, you nailed some stuff. You brought up, yes, okay. Very interesting.
So now,
okay.
on that note, too, I do want to tell you, I had to tell you when you said you faux pas on the time, someone threw that in your mouth just before you spit it out. You got somebody in spirit pretty strong around you right now. So
really,
be sure to pick them up. If you're wanting support or you want to know they're there, just kind of get quiet in your head and ask who's here right now, and do not doubt the answer. Do not doubt the answer.
Okay, so I can't ask you?
No, I need you to ask it, because honestly, you won't believe who it is. And once you hear the answer, it'll be the furthest thing from your mind, or it will be like, I can't believe this happened. So it's more validating for you to do that, because I can tell you who it is, but then you could doubt it all day long. Mm-hmm. So it's easier for you just to get quiet and listen and know that you've got somebody making it's a male energy. It's somebody that's making a pretty strong impression and trying to get your attention right now.
Is it my dad?
Enough so that they are moving things around where you live, or they're messing with the electricity. They've been around for a bit.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. Okay.
All right.
Well, thank you very much. But you guys are good. I just want to tell you that, because that's the same feeling I kind of got. Yeah. No, I wanted to validate you 100% in a lot of the stuff. So thank you.
Be sure to go out to the website and leave us a review. That'll get you into the drawing for the Members Lounge next weekend.
Oh, I definitely will. Just throw that website out to me one more time, if you would.
eastrologer.tv.
eastrologer.tv. Okay.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
Yep. Thanks a lot, Kelly. We'll catch up with you soon. Take
Blessings.
care.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so we are going to get to our next caller here, Katerina, from area code 845. We're going to catch up with you here. Hi, you're on the Uranus Apis show. I know we talked in the past, but may I have your birth data again? I don't have that here.
Sure, yes, it was a while ago. Thank you for remembering me. It's June 26, 1975.
June 26, 75, okay.
Yes. Time of birth, 5:26 p.m.
Perfect. All right. And do you have a specific question? I'm sorry, one more thing. Where were you born?
Oh, Bronx, New York.
Okay, all right. And do you have a specific question, or do you just want a general reading?
Specific, please. My mom and I, more my mom, I'd love to go too. But I was wondering if you see us traveling this year, overseas.
Traveling overseas?
Yeah. My mom's dream.
So I can tell you that, Katerina, there's a lot of gray area around that. Either there's hoops to jump through or a lot of red tape, but there may be something that needs to happen, and it may be a lengthy process. So if you're going to go this year, you need to get started on that right away. Whatever that may be, it would be enough to hold you up or cancel these plans. It's not something that can't be solved or won't be accomplished or finished if you get started right now. Does this make sense?
I'm betting it's for me for work. If I get a project done, maybe that's I could. Yeah.
And put your goal on wanting to really not take anything else on. Don't commit yourself. Whatever if it's a job thing that's going to hold you up, then get it done right away. Even if it would be done, a couple months in advance, it's something that has to get started on to be finished. I kind of also think that there may be, like a passport thing maybe, or, I don't know, vaccination card. I don't know what's required these days.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's something that may take a little bit of time, so you've got to get started right away. And then if it's satisfied and all these tasks are finished, yeah, you and Mom are happy travelers.
Right, right.
So you don't get a yes, you get a yes if.
I see, I see.
Okay, so I just want to add to
Yeah.
that, Katarina, that,
Yeah.
you know, like, I really think it's going to be more like, are you guys are you and your mom talking about doing like a family reunion? Is this related to any like large gathering or anything like that?
They want to do, yes, yes. They wanted to celebrate my mom's birthday over there, although it happened just already. But, like, if we get over there, maybe, you know, we could have a celebration. So, yes, yes, you're right about that.
And is it going to be someplace what you would call abroad, like outside of the U.S., not domestic?
Yes, yes, in Italy.
Yeah,
Mhm.
okay. So, if I'm being really honest based on this information, it looks like that, your family is definitely going to enjoy a trip. Like, I can tell that for sure. You are a big fat question mark. We really don't know. And I think that this is going to have something to do with vaccination records specifically. That's what's
Is
kind of
it?
creating
Okay.
the rift. Yeah, that's like there's something about whether I don't even not even so much COVID related, but like you have to have typhoid fevers, one of those really weird freaky ones. Like there is just some hang up with those particular issues. And I do agree that yes, if is the answer, that you can go on this trip, but you got to you got to do a lot of prep work and do a lot of heavy lifting in order to make this happen. I do think that if you decide to do the work, then you're going to be successful. If not, then I mean, let's just be real. You're going to be enjoying it from a Zoom meeting, and then that's about the best you can do.
Yeah.
And you're also probably going to have some fights with like a manager or like HR or somebody to get the time off. Like, I don't see people wanting to like give this up to you as easily as what you would like or as what they could, just because like companies, right? So I think that like if this is something you want, put in the request effective tomorrow, and then be prepared to fight that with them for the next 6 months. And if you're lucky, you'll get to go. But like, you really have to do some heavy lifting to make it happen. Otherwise, if you might just decide, you know what, I think I've done everything that I can do, and I'm gonna let it slide by, let it slide off for right now because I have other things I'd rather focus on right now. That's not this. And maybe it's just that you enjoy the time to yourself to recharge your batteries, because you probably don't get very much of that anymore. I know I definitely don't. So I do think that it is possible, but like it's just going to take so much work, and it's a question you have to ask yourself: do I want to do this? Is it worth it to me? And there's no right or wrong answer, and you're not a jerk for saying I don't want to be with my mom or my family. That's not what we're saying. It's just like, you guys don't understand the hoops that I have to jump through, and the emotional distress that it creates for me in my life to make that happen.
Right, right. Yeah, I'll see if I can swing it. If not, maybe next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, most definitely next year would be a big yes. Because whatever the obstacles are you need to conquer are going to be well behind you.
Yeah. And I feel like that, people are also especially people in management at your work, are just being unclear for the sake of being unclear because they can be. Because then that means that we have better coverage for these shifts, and these assignments are going to get taken care of because let's be real, managers are bastards these days, and they don't they want to treat everybody like slaves because that's what corporate wants. And like, I think that they're going to give you some verbiage, some emails that are just like not really telling you what you need to know in plain text. Like, you really have to read between the lines, and that's just because that's just management. So I do agree that next year is a much better time, for something like this, like a trip. But like, if you want to do the work, then by all means, enjoy yourself.
Right, right. Wow. It's a lot to think over. No, it makes total sense. Thank you both.
Yeah, for sure.
Blessings.
And be sure to give us a like on our page here on YouTube and on BTR, and we'll catch up with you next time so we can or we'll catch up with you next time here on the show. And if you go to the eastrologer.tv and leave a review, that'll get you into the drawing for the raffle for the free pass next weekend.
Oh, fabulous. Thank you. Thank you both so much. Really nice connecting
You're
with
welcome.
you both.
Yes, nice
Thank
to have you
you.
here. We'll catch up with you soon. Take care. Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Okay, so we're going to take our last caller here. We're going to go with Tamika here at area code 347. Tim, I know you're on the line with us here also. And I did capture your information. So for the next show when we come back, probably on Sunday, I would guess, Veretta, is that good for you? Sunday morning like we did before?
Yes.
All right, so we're going to be back Sunday. That'll be like a 9 to 11. And we'll be back with you guys here then. And Tim, you'll be first on that show since we didn't get to you tonight. So Tamika, I know you're on the line with us, and here you are. May I have your birth data again since I don't have that one here? Tamika? All right, so I think Tamika walked away. So Tamika, we'll get to you next time. Tim, are you on the line with us here? Tim? Hello? No, it just freaked out.
No?
No, I think Tim hung up when I told him he would be next. So, Tamika, we're still waiting for you. Hello, are you there? Hello? Hello?
Okay. Tamika has left the building.
Yep, okay, so Tim and Tamika will be first next show. We'll be back with you guys Sunday at 9 a.m. I really appreciate everybody calling into the show tonight. Thank you so much for providing me this opportunity to practice my social skills. They're not great, but it does get better with time. So thank you for letting me practice. And of course, to always prove the astrology. It has been real. So we will see you guys Sunday at 9 a.m. from 9 to 11 for another 2-hour show. And for everybody who was on the show tonight, be sure to go to eastrologer.tv to leave a review. That'll get you into the raffle for the drawing for a free pass to our members lounge next weekend. And you can also go to my website to create a free account for our forums. Thanks so much, everybody. And Veretta, of course, it was amazing as always. I loved having you here with me. Thank you for being on the show with us.
It's always fun.
Yep. And we'll catch
no
you guys
problem.
next time. Until then, until Sunday. Take care and good night.